Hello, esteemed fans. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone, wherever you might be watching us here in Corweb TV. I remain the host anchor Chigo Zendibo. Trust you're getting on well across the continent where you are watching us, as we are very much ready and set, of course, to discuss events and issues of great importance and as importance on the existence of humanity and otherwise. I welcome you once again to this evening rumbles here in Corweb TV. As you join us, kindly hit the like buttons, share the video, let it go viral. Let others get to join us in any of the platform where you identified with, or as much as you can, of course, get in touch with, let others get to join us. This promises to be one of those exciting moments indeed here once again. While, of course, in the meantime, I will want us to hit the like button, share this video, let it go viral. Let it go viral. What we are doing is a very interesting one, as the case is. Yes, for the meantime, let's, of course, perform some rituals. Somebody told me he have not experienced what I'm just to do. It's a miracle, and the way of appreciating those who are joining us. Okay, we are in a place where rituals are being performed, and one of those, yes, these are just preambles to this discussion. I welcome my esteemed fans this moment to this exciting moment here. With much love from Chigos and Debo, I want you to share a piece of this with me if you don't mind. But let me take it on your behalf. It goes this way. This is called the miracle seed. I don't know if you have come in contact with such miracle seed. If you have experienced such, this is a miracle seed. So I'm now on the mountain. I'm on the mountain praying that it shall be well with you all, especially who in one way or the other supports Call Wave TV by hitting the like buttons, subscribing, sharing this video at least 200,000 platforms is possible with you. I welcome you once again. May the gods of miracle that produce this seed, of course, bless you and keep you safe and healthy. Ise. I see the miracle that just disappeared. What exactly is happening? Yeah, this is just a preamble to this discussion today. We are discussing important issues, and we must this time observe Omenala based on the location I am this moment. I welcome you once again. Hit the like buttons. We are set. We are good to go. You see, all walks without play makes Jack a dull boy. Once again, I salute you all. You can as well share with me in this joyous moment, an exciting moment with Chigandebo here before we get set and prepared for today's voyage as we navigate through, of course, this moments of bliss. Once again, may the God of peace and justice be with you all. He say. This is miracle seed, and the miracle seed is very exciting, honestly. Just as in Nigeria today, it is very difficult to come by. This is another seed. You call it abado. The abado that was promised Nigerians is no longer affordable. But here it is possible because of the God of miracle. We can have access to this abado. It is just what you see, 500 naira. You know what that means? How many people can afford it in Nigeria today? Yes, join me as we celebrate the God of miracle here. Just on a lighter note, of course, welcome you all once again in today's evening rumbles. Keeping it real, of course, has been earnest commitment and passion. And to this end, we come your way again. It is not always kill and kill, shoot. 20 died here, everywhere is tensed. But whatever be the case, I welcome you once again, esteemed fans, to this very important broadcast. Yes, as we get set, please kindly hit the like buttons for those who are here as we wait for others to join us this very important moment. It becomes yes, fine and good, esteemed fans. We have defeated, of course, the terrorists that is called network fluctuation. It's one of those terrorists, and it's also found in Nigeria. Network fluctuation is a terrorist by my own, of course, position. It's a terrorist that will not allow us to transmit this program without glitches. Well, esteemed fans, I welcome you once. Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa, has blown hot again. That you know why? We are absolutely have no business with, he called them terrorists. I don't know who he's referring to. Perhaps it could be the Nigerian uh, Defense Force or whatever. Every party, every opposition calls each other terrorists. So we don't know. Only time we define who, of course, are truly the terrorists. But now, everybody is a terrorist on every part. Is being perceived as terrorists. Because I have said network is a terrorist, and this terrorist is found predominantly in Nigeria today. Will not allow us to transmit this program without, of course, hitches. But whatever be the case, we are well prepared, of course, having made the sacrifice of the seed of miracle to get on with this discussion. We have absolutely no business with the terrorists. If you come to kill us, we will kill you first. We have no mercy. Of course, for the Nigerian, he called them terrorists. Just as I've said, the Nigerian described the indigenous people of Biafra or the Biafra Republic government in exile as terrorists. Of course, it is normal understanding. It is not surprising for the Biafran Republic government in exile to also describe them as terrorists because everyone wants to terrorize each other. They are fighting a very serious fight, and everyone is being perceived as an arch enemy, and that is just the truth. So if you come to kill us, we will kill you first. We have no mercy for the Nigerian military, he described as terrorists, because we are on a revenge mission to avenge the deaths of over 5 million Biafrans killed. When we catch you, you shall have no mercy on you. This is coming from the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in as I say, we have no mercy. If we catch you within the Biafran territory, we will mercilessly dealt with you. Why? Because we are still nursing the pains and agony, the frustration, of course, the killings of our beloved brothers and sisters, our mothers, and of course, and our fathers who were killed, our uncles, in the most brutal and gruesome manner of in the within the space of 3.5 years or 3 years of the bloody war between the Nigerian and the Biafran. You see, we have not forgotten the ill, the wickedness, the conspiracy, the atrocious undertakings that was carried out, the genocide, the homicide that was carried out against the Biafran people. It is very fresh, of course, in our minds, and we have not forgotten, not even so soon, the brutality, the killings, even after declaration of no victor, no vanquish, the massacre in Delta State, of course, and other part of the supposed Biafran territory, where communities were summoned, were called up in the name of making peace, and eventually an order was given to wipe them off. It is quite unfortunate. In the name of making peace, we have never forgotten that. And we are on a revenge mission. We are not going to spare any Nigerian military or security operatives found within the Biafran defined or defunct territory. This is coming from Master Simon Ekpa, blowing hot and very serious about this case. Unfortunately, we experienced the bloody Monday sit at home, where unfortunately some security operatives were gunned down by some undisclosed unknown gunmen, as the case is. Nobody could have known, or the Nigerian government have not been, or security operatives have not been able to ascertain the exact killers of these people, and of course bring them to book if that becomes necessary. But some are suspecting that it could be those enforcing the sit at home. But it's very injurious and very deadly to base arguments or judgments on mere presumptions. We should allow the government and the security operatives, the DSS, to carry out due diligence in that regards, and possibly inform the masses who are the killers of these security personnel in Aba, in Imo State, or whether precisely, who could have engineered these killings. Is another fundamental issue that must be ironed and deeply, of course, analyzed, or an inquiry or investigation, of course, should swing into actions, so that we understand exactly if actually there are some non-state actors who are hiding under this disguise to annihilate the security operatives. But meanwhile, Simon Ekpa believes that whatever happens, he is not giving up to this cause of Biafra restoration. He have called before now that all security operatives within Nigerian security operatives within the defunct Biafran territory, which he claims are 40 states of the United States of Biafra, should vacate the territory or otherwise face the wrath of the Biafra Republic government in exile, which he happens to be the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile. Well, we await if that could be possible, whatever may be the outcome of the investigations or the panel of inquiry that may have been set up by the Imo State government or the federal government or the police force or commissions in regarding to that development, because it is still in the realm of speculations, and except the perpetrators of this heinous crime is being brought to book and of course to face the wrath of the law, we may not, of course, end up accusing anyone. But within the realms of speculations, it is believed or assumed or presumed instead that possibly or presumably perhaps the enforcers of this sit at home may have carried out such act, but then they believe that the delegitimization of Nigeria must, of, of course, be prioritized, and the cost for the restoration of the Biafran state remains sacrosanct and inevitable. However, audios are exacerbating any situation. They have learned, of course, to keep their composure. And whatever that could mean, of course, might not be underestimated, because these people are well as committed and very serious about their position, that we are on a revenge mission, that the blood of the innocent Biafrans that were massacred and mercilessly killed, including innocent children who were starved to death, has not been appeased. Of course, this cry for justice, for judgment, continues. They have not been buried, they have not been given the rightful burial rights as tradition demands, and of course, as customs demands. And of course, these spirits are hovering around the entire regions of Biafran territory, possibly engineering and facilitating the restoration of the Biafran state, which of course so many believe that Biafran cause is a spirit, is an ideology. A spirit cannot be killed. An ideology cannot be displaced or dislodged except there is a superior ideology. Then if that is not the case, then the ideology strives and remains. You can't conquer the war of ideology with the use of kinetics. It has never been done, whether is ideology governed by principles or ideology that is governed by uh, radicalism. You see, you can't stop that. People believe that they are not part of Nigeria, and evidence abounds to the fact to attest for this position, because you can't convince a child not to cry when you have, of course, given him reason to cry. When you beat a child beyond what he could contain, the child will burst into cries, into tears as a way of expressing deep resentment, deep, of course, frustration or deep rejection, or a way of expressing or protesting for this ill treatment method on him, that he could not have challenged the oppressors or the one bullying him. But if he has the wherewithal to do that, he will not hesitate. You see, even though you born your child at a point or stage in life when he becomes adult, in his adulthood, you can't dare to beat him anyhow. You see, we challenge you, even he will block. If he can't do anything, just to respect you, will block him and you want to beat him. You will block out. You say, guy, I mean, I'm no longer a boy, you. So you have to give me accord me some respect. Otherwise, daddy, I just respect you. Daddy, why are you beating me now? Daddy, don't you know I'm an adult? So that is just the truth about situations. You can't describe a people as a dot in a cycle. Well, the dot is the core, the center, the most important part of a cycle is the core, you see, which has 360 degrees. See, it controls the gravity acts on the center of any object or body. You see, that is where the gravity attracts. The force of gravity is being experienced. So when you call them or describe them as dot in a cycle, you're just telling them that they are more influential, that they control the core, the most important, of course, aspects of the country where they found themselves. It's been well interpreted, but that is not our subject of discussion today. Now, Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in Israel, has expressed deep pain, deep pain, deep agony, that despite what they experienced, of course, he was not born then, he was just in his late 30s or just 40 years, which means he did not experience the war. But the story about the war, the brutality, the hostility, the genocide, the pogrom committed against his people was relayed down to him, perhaps by his mother or his father, the surviving mothers or fathers, of course, or perhaps uncles who experienced the war, who saw the brutality, who saw the pains, who saw the conspiracy, who saw the genocidal conspiracy, of course, against the indigenous people of Biafra, precisely the Igbo ethnic nationalities, with the intention to annihilate and wipe them off. And eventually, that really could not see the light of the debate. Of course, it was documented that over 5 millions of Biafrans were killed, but on average, about 5 million was accepted, and it's quite very disturbing, this situation. This, of course, may have informed the position of the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic, government in exile, and of course, most of the Biafrans the world over who have heard, who have seen some video clips, and whatever be the case, has been told why their uncles could not be alive, why some families do not have offspring or somebody springing up from that. Just as in my own locality, uh, over a woman who gave birth to 10 sons, and those 10 sons were at the age, were almost adults. They were all arrested and forced, of course, to join the war when they in the heat of the war. They were not trained, well trained. They perhaps have been running away from the opportunity to get trained. And when the battle becomes so fierce between the Biafran and Nigeria, they were arrested and conscripted into the Biafran military, and eventually was pushed to the hot zones. You know what that means? They don't have the military tactics or basic training to dodge or evade or maneuver over circumstances or bullets, and eventually they all died, and that family remains closed, was wiped off. So when Simon Ekpa is saying that we are on a revenge mission, of course, to avenge for the death of the Biafran citizens that was killed brutally in the most horrible and disgusting manner. But unfortunately, what led to the civil war? They call it civil war, but it's a war between the Biafran and Nigeria, because Biafra was declared, of course, an entity, a sovereign state by the internal leader, the Chukwuemeka Odumegwejukwu, who pronounced the Biafran state as a way of self-preservation, as a way of self-recognition and the preservation of their cultural heritage and prosperity, that he felt, or Biafrans felt, threatened within the Nigerian state. And the massacre of Igbos in the north, presiding, of course, the war, was something that is not acceptable. And unfortunately, the then government could not address such abnormality. So Igbos have been used as sacred goats or scapegoats whenever issues of national dimension is to be resolved. They will fall back on against the Igbos. So this is not just new. It has been in the history of Nigeria, but unfortunately, the school curriculum uh, removed history so that it could hide some truth from the gullible masses who perhaps may not have opportunity to read wide to ascertain what exactly is the truth about events and circumstances that have transpired over decades. But for the privileged few who understood what played out and what eventually have been the brain behind the escalation of the war, understood indeed that these are conspiracy against the Igbos or the Biafrans. Well, this is what Simon Ekpa has to say, that why we are enforcing this sit at home is that we must, of course, celebrate our people. Let's hear what he said again in this note. He said, I'm happy that, of course, the Nigerian, of course, head headquarters of the army has realized that you cannot defeat the people of God. And the gods, the army of gods, the Biafran Liberation Army, you will all go down in Biafra land. Well, he's speaking very hot, and this is quite very disturbing, honestly. It means we are not seeing any peace, of course, anytime soon. This is brutality. This is uh, teeth against teeth. It's no longer an issue of mercy. He said, oh, okay, what is this called today? Unfortunately, Imo State, Abia State, former Abia State, former Enugu State, of course, we will continue. It's quite very disturbing that these are happenings. Men are going down. And could that be that there are no advisory bodies that could advise the government of Nigeria to devise any other means to resolve this crisis? People who are dying is quite unfortunate. I saw a very gory video, very gory video. It is quite very gory. People, these are humans, these are to people's fathers and uncles and all that. But the reality is that they are on a mission to kill. And if eventually they are the first to go down, well, sometimes as humans, you may have that human feeling. But the truth is that they are there to kill. And it's just a matter of who received the gun first. They are on the search out for those to kill. And eventually, unfortunately for them, they were the first to go down. So, how long will this continue? Are we not learning from history? Are we not learning from the past? Why must we continue on this negative path? It is very clear, has been advised, of course, by the Nobel laureate that the use of kinetics cannot subdue the Biafran military or the Biafran defense or resistance force. That you cannot subdue them with the use of kinetics. You can't even conquer them. If you think you can, it just momentarily. They will, of course, re-strategize and spring up surprises, just as what we are seeing today. It is very disturbing, honestly, and how long will this continue? Of course, let's know what is your own reaction regarding this development. The Woto promise is being invoked as Simon Ekpa blows hot. And this man, uh, looking at his facial appearance, the man called Simon Ekpa the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile. He has a baby face and very innocent face. Indeed, innocent. You might not expect that this man can even uh, move an ant, let alone moving mountains, let alone almost bringing Nigeria to its knees, as the case is today, because he is the most wanted. And for Nigerian, he might be considered as the most notorious or the most wanted in the list of the most wanted person. If by any means, by any chance, they could have access to Simon Ekpa, they may not, of course, contemplate of what to do with him. And for Simon Ekpa, he said, I am more closer to you than you have ever imagined being to me. And that, of course, is not something you can just wish away. Could it mean that he's very closer to Asorok? He understood whatever step they take. Could it be the reasons why they are gaining advantage over the Nigerian security operatives? And this could be true because he said he is more closer to them than they could have ever imagined being to him, that he is not reachable and could not be accessed by the Nigerian government and his machineries, but he is very closer to them. Possibly he has some intel or some, of course, informants or informations on their module operandis and whatever line of actions that may be laid out against the Biafran Republic government in exile and the Biafran resistance force or the defense force. This is quite very interesting. We've not seen such uh, dexterity ever before, and he's showing such level of dexterity, being able to, of course, despite being away several thousands of kilometers, he could influence whatever is going here in Nigeria. That shows a very formidable and robust system he oppressed. And over time, some persons have tried to infiltrate uh, the Biafran Liberation Force and, of course, security uh, resistance army, but to no avail. Any attempt has failed in that regard. You begin to wonder what kind of system is Simon Ekpa playing out? What could have informed this formidable force? Just as the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazis Nnamdi Kanu, said, it will be almost impossible to infiltrate the IPOB uh, rank and files because it will take more than a century, 100 years to infiltrate them or to break them down. Well, if by that he means, of course, Simon Ekpa is on the go, and of course, Simon Ekpa has been silenced even before the extraordinary rendition of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. He was just mere talking and analyzing issues, but eventually, when he steps out, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu steps out, eventually we saw a new wave of events, a new direction, a new dimension, a new, of course, strategy was invoked. And this strategy has shocked not just uh, the Nigerian military, it has shocked everyone who underestimated the importance of Simon Ekpa or his influence, the influence he wields. Some said, well, of course, it's just a talkative, but eventually it is no longer the same today. Everybody is just apprehensive and very shocking. As some have accused that, of course, Simon said that those who are after his life will go before him. Well, some said, well, don't involve Simon Ekpa in the death of the president of Ohanese, Dr. Emmanuel Iwanyanwu, and eventually the oil mogul. Of course, Igbos have lost their one of the lustrous sons, but whatever be the case, some have reservations regarding the death and the circumstances surrounding that, having been perceived to some greater extent not to be working in the collective interest of the Igbo and Biafra in general. Whatever be the case, well, that is not a subject of review today. Perhaps in subsequent editions we could expatiate and look into that logically. And whatever be the case, we'll also expect you to give your own position regarding this development. So, what is your own reaction regarding? Is it Simon Ekpa is not smiling at all? Is it the business of self-determination is not? It doesn't give you time to smile. You have to be ruthless and brutal because your enemy will not spare you either. If you eventually walk into their nets, you will be devoured. Just is just the case. And when you see him speak that way, he meant what he's saying, and he says what he meant, and that sometimes sends some seismic waves of panic against the opposition or those who, well, whatever be the case, do you, okay, so what do you say? He said, do you, okay, do you read your camera or what? So whatever be the case, that is just the truth of the matter. And yes, I can hear myself. Hope you do as well. Okay, okay. Well, okay, okay. Thank you. Good evening from here. Thank you, my brother. Thank you once again. Please kindly hit the like buttons, and what we are seeing here is not quite encouraging. For those who are watching us, we are live and direct in this evening rumbles here in Callwave TV. We're here to express and analyze and digest events as they continue to unfold. The aftermath of the first day of the sit at home has been very deadly and bloody. Eventually, some scores or some few security operatives were killed. It is quite very disturbing, the development. But enforcers of this to justice, let the rule of law or the course of justice have its way. But for me, the Biafran Republic government in Israel have forewarned that not everybody should stay clear in those days. Today is the second day of the sit at home, which spans to yes, tomorrow being the 31st and eventually on the 2nd, which means 1st of August is free based on the information available on the media or internet or social media, the case, whatever be the case. It is quite interesting, honestly, whatever is happening. Uh, okay, you are very okay. Well, it is quite interesting, the development, but uh, I hope I made myself very clear that Simon Ekpa said the reason for this sit at home was was to delegitimize the Nigerian government within the Biafran defunct territory and enforce and clamp down on all government establishments or parastatals as a way of repressing and expressing their grievances over the people that were killed by. Yes, I do read my comments when it is, of course, it's convenient and just to keep uh, the conversation flowing. Just keep on giving us the comments. Keep on sending your comments, and that could assist us in the subsequent editions to iron out whatever concerns that may have been raised here. Thank you once again. This is the second day of the sit at home, slated for 4 days. We are down with the second, and the hope, of course, the rest of the sit at home will be peaceful. And I wish that no security. Thank you so much. The terrorist network, of course, is trying to beat some funny shootings here. Thank you once again. We wrap it up for today's evening and informative informations here to discuss. Now, the concerns that we must pay attention to for Simon Ekpa to have skipped the 1st of August. I thought the protests or the sit at home would have spanned, of course, through that 29th to the 1st of August, but he skipped the 1st of August, perhaps for very obvious reasons. He wouldn't want to align or identify with the Nigerian protests because the Nigerian youths and the Nigerian populace have set the 1st of August for the mass national protests across the entire states or state house within Nigeria. So for him to have skipped that day means there's something fundamentally, of course, on the tune, and he wouldn't want to be seen to be inconsistent with his words. He has made it very clear that he is not part of any protests, Nigerian protests, and he wouldn't want to add whatever, of course, might support that protest. So if sit at home has been observed on that day, people will say, okay, well, it is an extension of the IPOB or Biafran Republic government in the size, of course, propaganda. But he said, no, we withdraw from that first. Let's observe it on the second. While Nigerians does whatever they want to do, so that at the end of the day, no Igbo man or Biafran man could be seen or could be accused of being responsible or sponsoring that protest. Now, the protest was informed by the, the level of hunger, hardship, frustration, of course, the government of Tinubu has forced on Nigerians. They have been patient with him, thinking that he could provide solutions to the mirrors of the problem bedeviling the Nigerian state. But when eventually it becomes very clear that they have run out of ideas and have no other solution to provide to litigate these nagging issues, that informed the position of the Nigerian youth. And of course, not just the youth, the Nigerian populace decided to troop to the streets in demonstration of this unfortunate economic mishaps and misgovernance have been sustained by the APC party. For the past 9 years, Nigerians have wallowed through deep abject poverty, penury, agony, sufferings, taking their lives at will because they could no longer bear this unfortunate pressure. Depression is at the increase. So the people said, no, we can't continue to keep mute. We can't remain silent and die in silence. It's better we troop to the streets, demonstrate such disapproval or vote of no confidence on this administration, and eventually register our protest. The demand is very clear. End bad government. Some have argued that this could lead to anarchy. Those who are afraid of the uncertainties, of course, this federal government have issued warning that this could lead to anarchy. Well, whatever they mean by anarchy, we hope the security operatives will not engineer or trigger such anarchy by way of conducting themselves in the most civic and responsible manner. Otherwise, they could trigger that anarchy that they are afraid of, and eventually what they are afraid of might eventually catch up with them. Whatever be the case, we hope that humanity will be preserved, and of course, there will be no loss of life in the course of this protest. Whatever be the case, we'll continue to keep you abreast with the realities, and of course, have the opportunity to discuss and analyze and interact whatever be the development or update regarding this. Thank you once again. Good night from here. Bye, wherever you might be watching us. Good night. See you in the next edition. Okay.